Alright, hi guys, welcome. Lawrence here. Quickly, just a quick video to kind of show you I'm in Las Vegas. I'm just gonna kind of take you and give you a run through of my room and where I'm at, and kind of share some information of what I've just learned in the last 24 hours since I've been here, and really thinking about stuff and hearing other people's stories, other marketers, other guys that are working and marketing full time and online, obviously. So it's going to be an interesting little video. So let me run you through this, alright? I'm just going to switch the camera over so I can kind of show you the other way, because it's difficult viewing where I'm at. I'm doing this for those of you who've never been to Las Vegas and never been out here in a hotel, just to kind of show you what things are like when you are making money online and you're traveling the world, and you obviously have the opportunity to do that because of decent income. A lot of people are into this stuff. I'm not really, but I'm kind of doing it just to show you anyway. So let me just switch and show you, okay? Alright, so here's basically the entrance of my room just here. To the left we've got a suite bathroom, and there's a toilet and a shower here in the corner. Kind of a way to do things. Television, if you're into watching television. I actually haven't been watching television for like 9 years now. Another television. So it seems like you Americans are really into television, and there's another television, like 3 televisions in the suite. Room out here, your own little lounge area, as you can see. Alright, there's just a bunch of books, obviously I've been reading, and I just ordered just a quick little thing before my sister and her husband's obviously also here, kind of attending the same event I'm attending. Just had some cappuccinos, some pastries, some nice fruit. Obviously getting into that, just getting that before we go out. There, I've just sat and done a bunch of stuff quickly as far as work goes, and yeah, you can see the sun is coming up in Las Vegas. There's the mountains in the background. There's Trump Towers, obviously, as you can see out there in the back, and here in front of us, Treasure Island. I'm obviously staying in the Venetian, so those of you who know Las Vegas would know that is there is just some beautiful little water features. Let me just zoom in a bit for you. You can see right over at the Mirage. Anyways, let me go back to the video here. You can see me, and then I can kind of quickly get into what I wanted to share with you. Alright, so I'm gonna just sit here and I'm gonna run you through some thoughts, and I suggest you take a piece of paper and you write down the following stuff, because I actually kind of, as I was thinking about this, took some mental notes, or took some notes and written down a bunch of notes that I can kind of give it to you, because I don't really want to miss something, because this is really something that you need to talk about. Recently, a couple of weeks ago, I did a hangout inside of our PTG team in the members training kind of thing that we do, the recorded hangouts, and I discussed, the main 3 things that people need to kind of implement and do and focus on to create results and success and freedom inside of this particular industry. And what do I mean by this particular industry? I mean this team building, this industry of sponsoring others into a business opportunity and building a team that you can kind of leverage the time and effort and money of other individuals, so that you can grow your own success, both on a financial side and a mental side as well. So I'm going to tell you a bunch of points that you need to write down, and as we go through it, we'll discuss them and kind of discuss how important it is for you to understand them and focus upon them, so that it can ultimately get you to a point where you can travel the world, come and see Vegas, go to other countries, fly first class, business class, do all of that type of thing. And it's not about being material, or focused on materialism, because obviously if you've followed me for a while, then you know I'm not at all. But it's about having the freedom to experience the best that you can in life, because life is really short. And that is kind of something that I think I stand upon as foundation in my life, and really grow my business, or work in my business and build my business with my thoughts and views upon those things, because that's me, right? So you'll understand what I've just said after we've covered the next following points. So what we're going to start off with, I want you to write down 3 or 4 little things, basically 4 points underneath each other. The first one's going to be desperation, the word, just desperation. Well, there's like these stages that you are going to go through and progress through in this industry, all right? While you're building your business here. The first one where everybody starts, and we all go through these, all right? We all experience them, and you will experience the same thing. So the first one you write down is just write down there on a piece of paper, desperation. Second one, comfort. Third one, inspiration. All right? And then the fourth one I'm going to leave until I get there, all right? So as you've written those down, I'm going to talk about the first one, because this is really an important one. When you start off in this industry, you are most likely starting this business because of a feeling of desperation in some way, shape or form. That you are starting to build your business, you're getting into a business opportunity, you need to learn all this marketing, and build all the skills, and at the same time build a mindset, so that you can kind of manage the success and manage the results and manage the obstacles that come your way in this industry. So if you want to get through this desperation, you kind of have to, immediately make the decision that you shouldn't have a plan B, right? If I can put it like that. The good thing about being desperate is that it can drive you. It can really drive you towards success, because it can be things such as bills and debt and financial struggles and fights and all sorts of crap that financial worries kind of create. And so you're desperate for results, and therefore you are eager to work, you're eager to do, you kind of step out of your way to complete tasks and do stuff and really focus. On the bad side of it, obviously, is that it can drive your business into the ground. Because if you take the wrong action, you don't focus, if you do that, it drives your business into the ground. The desperation, unfortunately, also comes through in your videos, in the emails that you write, in your marketing message, basically, in your copy. It's a subconscious thing, right? And desperation can deter people from listening to you, or paying attention to you, and following you as a sponsor, as a leader, and that kind of sucks, right? So you don't want to go that way. So desperation is the first thing. It's the first place where we all start. We unfortunately all have to start there. It's kind of just like these things that I'm mentioning is things that I have heard others discuss throughout my time in marketing online, and things that I've personally seen and experienced in the same way. And that's why I'm giving these to you, because you will see that you will progress through these, and that you will currently be in one of these. All right? So desperation is the first one. Desperation can either be good or bad, as I said. The good part is it can drive you. The bad part is that your desperation can come through in your marketing, right? In your videos, your emails, and all of that. So you really need to pay attention to that, and you don't want to get stuck in this phase, if I can put it like that. All right. At the end, I'm going to cover on how to get out of this. All right. So just pay attention. Number 2. So let's gravitate and we go over to or progress. Let's go over to number 2. And number 2 is going to be the comfort zone, the comfort, being comfortable, right? The bad part about it is that you might in the back of your head have this thing that I've got a plan B. I'm working a job, I've got a job that's providing me with an income, and now I'm starting this online business, or I'm getting involved in a team or a business opportunity, and I'm kind of attacking my business with a view of, I'm going to give this a go, I'm going to try this, and not really worry about it, because at the end of the day I still have my job that's providing me with some income, so it's not as if I don't have anything. The problem with that is that if you have a plan B, it kind of gets you to not focus fully. It kind of gets you to not pay attention and not to really work your business. Like in a way of somebody who's really desperate for success. There's that word again, right? So that desperation, that type of desperation that I just mentioned as being desperate for success, is something that can really drive you. All right. So the bad part about comfort is obviously that you can have a plan B, and when you're stuck in this comfort zone, you don't really have real success. You kind of gravitate between being desperate, right, being in this desperation phase, and being in the comfortable phase. Your income fluctuates a lot. There's no real progress. There's no really breaking free, right? The best advice for this phase is to kind of trick yourself, or trick your mind, trick your mind into getting past this. Imagine you don't have a job, right? And that you don't have income that can kind of sustain your lifestyle at this stage. Kind of treat your business as if this is it for you, all right? That way you'll start getting focused. You won't waste time on stuff such as Facebook, Skype, all of these social networks. It amazes me how much time people can waste on things that do not create results. Being here in Vegas, once again, just looking at things from a perspective of looking at life in general, you can really get lost inside of this world and totally forget about the fact that you're going to die one day, right? Anyway, nonetheless, so kind of living in the now is also not all that great. Anyway, the third phase you're going to gravitate or progress into is the inspiration phase. So we have desperation, and you go from being desperate into being comfortable because some results might be there, or you might have a good job, or you might have some income, so you're not fully attacking your business and give it everything you've got. And then obviously the inspiration phase. Now, what happens here is that to get to inspiration phase, you obviously have to go through the first phase and the second phase, which we've just covered. And you don't want to get stuck in this cycle, right, of going between these two all the time. When you're in the inspiration phase, it's usually when you start getting results and you start seeing some stuff. And it kind of gets you to work a little bit harder. But then the results being there kind of makes you feel that now you've arrived, right? So it kind of pulls you back into phase 2 where you're comfortable. So now your business is providing you with the income that you need. And it's starting to build up, and you start getting comfortable, and you kind of become complacent with your success, right? So those three kind of keep you in this whirlwind, sucking you around in like a current, sticking to that area all the time, which really sucks, right? And before you know it, you're really not focused. You kind of all over the place. You have results, you have a team, you have a subscriber base, but it's as if there's something missing, you know, and it kind of, you don't know where it comes from. You don't know what you need to do to get out of it all, and you can actually get to a point where you're still unhappy with your, even while having success, even while making money, even while having this income online that provides you with a lifestyle, even like traveling around. So the last point is obviously the last phase that you go into is what I'd like to call other people's success, others' success, right? You've heard us talk in the PTG team about focusing on other people, focusing on providing value, focusing on helping and changing other people's lives. In the end, that is what this business or this industry is about, and especially what this team is about. It's about other people. If you start really pondering about this, really thinking about it, and focusing on the fact that you want to really help others instead of just wanting your own income to go through the roof or start building some income and start getting some results, meaning as soon as you really forget about trying to make money, forget about running after the money, so that it's not about the money for you, but that it's about the people that you work with, the people that you have on your list, the people that you have on your subscriber base. That is when you kind of break out of those first three phases, where you go from desperation into, what as we said, the second one, through being comfortable and going out of this inspiration phase. That's kind of when you really start coming out of that current that usually sucks you back into phase 1 and 2, and now you're gravitating towards number 3 and 4 here, where you're constantly inspired. You're seeing other people's lives change. You hear their stories, like Albie, and Albie, who's gone from being a truck driver, who used his truck as a personal development library, how he struggled for years online, how he became part of your business and your team, and how being involved with leaders and in your team and going through the training and the advices that you've given, it changes people's lives. It's the same with like Tammy, how she has gone from nowhere to a success. Bashir Hassan here over in the USA, how it has transformed his life and his mind, how Gerald has gone from living in a vehicle, to becoming one of the most prominent leaders, ultimately one of the most positive individuals that you'll ever meet. Now, back in the day, he used to be a guy that really didn't think much of himself. He had this issue about himself. Now views things totally different, so he's mentally free as well as financially, right? Scott, who has obviously had the opportunity to change his lifestyle, go from living in Australia to living on an island in a tropical destination called Bali. How he has grown while he was there to living in another place, an even better looking place, living a lifestyle that most people can only dream about when it comes to this island lifestyle thing, if that is your thing, right? Leaders just popping up everywhere, like Toby Hartnell in our team. I mean, there's so many to mention, right? The reality is that when you start focusing on other people and everything to not be about yourself and not be about money, then the money and the real results and the satisfaction from all of that really comes. All right. So there are the 4 phases that you will go through. You will progress through them. You will be in one of those, and you are most likely, you'll most likely have this problem of being sucked into phase 1, 2, and 3 all the time, right? Until you really deeply think about what I've just shared with you, and you start changing, because it's a decision. It's just a decision to break free from this and get into this fourth phase where you really get into your marketing, your training, the way you handle your list, the way you handle your people, the way you view your business, when it's all about the people, when it's all about providing value, or when it's all about the people, you'll naturally start providing the value, and the results will just come, and the freedom will come, and it'll change you and your mindset, regardless of what it is, because there's just no way that you'll be sticking to this team, sticking to the information and the training, mingling with us, without it rubbing off on you and you becoming a more positive, more focused, more successful individual yourself. All right? So how do you get out of this? Here's how. What I want you to do is take a piece of paper and draw like 3 circles around each other, like drawing a target, right? And when you have this target, I want you to write 3 things, because here's what's happening in the marketplace, and this is kind of, you know, from a marketer's perspective, and even companies selling stuff. In the outside circle, right, the biggest one, you can kind of write in there, most companies and marketers know what they are selling, right? They know what they are selling. The second circle, the second biggest one, you can write, most companies and people or marketers know how they are selling. That's usually the traffic related stuff, and obviously the what they are selling is the biggest one, is obviously their product. So they know their product, they know you know, the type of stuff, they know everything about their company and their product really. And then the second one, knowing how to sell it, is through the marketing message, knowing their marketing traffic generation thing. Those 2 things are usually what companies and people are focusing on. Right, let me just do this because I see the lightning is kind of messing things up a bit. So let me do this. That's better. All right. So those 2 things are usually what people are focused on, and it's kind of it's the wrong things to focus on. It is this middle one, which is like the bullseye, which is in the middle of this target, which is the smallest circle, is the why. So you kind of can know what you are selling and how to sell it, but most people don't talk about this, the real why. Now you might have heard this thing about, you know, you have to define your why, especially in the team building industry. And I mean, I've been in this industry now 9 years, right? And I've heard that multiple times, and I've kind of brushed it off all this time until now, coming to Vegas and just seeing it in a different light for the first time. Whether it is now just an aha moment or what, I don't know. But nonetheless, this why is really your identity. It's looking about, it comes down to the point of your core, who you are, what you believe in, what you stand for. You really need to think about this why. And there's 2 ways to think about this why. There's a superficial way, you know, just up top, a surface level type why. And then there's, if you really think deeply about this why, you'll get different answers. Now, on the surface, most people cover things such as, if I ask you, you know, why are you building this business? Why do you get involved in the team? Why are you focused on learning this online marketing thing and trying to create success and freedom for yourself? And most people will say, because I want to get out of debt. I want to free my family. I want to have a better lifestyle. I want to make more money. I don't want to worry about bills. So it's all about money. It's about stuff. It's about being able to provide, which is all good, because that is basically the results of your success will give you that, right? But the real why will be something different. For each individual, it'll be something different. For me, the surface level wise is obviously the same thing. But here's my why. My deep why, all right? So you need to find your deep why. Now, if you have watched my videos for a long time and you've been involved with me for a long time, what I'm going to say now will immediately make sense to you and say, well, that, Lawrence, really is you. You know, that is your deep why. So my deep why is my core. In my core beliefs, I'm a guy that is really blunt. I believe in telling it like it is. I believe my why is about spreading the reality about things. Getting people and team members to not get sucked into this thing that, like, things such as traffic generation is the beginning and ending of all things online, or that a particular business opportunity is going to be the magic button, right? Or that there even is some magic button anyway. And kind of just focus on telling people to catch a wake up in most things, to not believe in false hyped up promises, and kind of run around in circles believing that if they get into a particular business opportunity, or if they go and buy traffic at a specific place, or if they implement a specific traffic strategy, that it's going to magically make them money. In this industry, it's all about the relationships. It's about you being you and real, so that people can connect with you, so that people can relate to your story, because your story is different. Everybody's story is different. As an example, I view Vegas in a particular way, you know, because of my spiritual background, because of my past, because of being an individual that used to party and being to everything that was wicked and sinful and bad in my view, which is a Christian perspective. Other people don't view things that way. So those people will 98% of the time not relate to me, and I don't really give a crap. That's me. So you need to stand up for what you are, who you are, what you believe in, and that will drive the way in which you provide value, and it will also drive what type of value you are going to provide. And as soon as you start providing value, you will start getting into what I have discussed in our team's hangout. Now, if you're part of our team, then I suggest you immediately go and watch the 26th June 2014's hangout, recorded hangout, to go and hear specifically the 3 points that I cover there in like a 2-hour detailed hangout. It's a 2.5-hour hangout. The first 2 hours is about these 3 points, and it's, in my opinion, if you ever wanted a secret, to be there in this team building business industry, the sponsoring game, and having success here in the PTG business, which is like the ultimate business to build, then really go pay attention to that. If you aren't in our team, get in our team. Get off the fence. Start taking action and implementing what we share. You've got a team that really cares about you, that you can tap into the stuff. Nobody can change your life for you. Only you can, right? You've got to be willing to implement these things. All right, so watch this video again. Understand that there is a natural way of progressing through these things. We all go through it. Nobody's really got a different story. Some people have struggled more than others and eventually created success. I'm talking about people who are leaders now, right? People who are earning like 20 grand plus per month, US. Everybody's got a similar story of wasting time, spending money on courses and trainings and events and all sorts of stuff that really they didn't need to do all that much. Because unfortunately this industry and the online scene kind of keeps you in this pool of getting sucked around in a current all the time, of wasting time believing that success and results will come from specific things when in fact it doesn't. And that ultimately, as I said, wastes your time. And time is something that is ticking out every single second of every single day, for both me and for you. So you don't have forever. So the sooner you listen and you implement, the sooner you'll be able to start attaining your results and ultimately change your reality, right? And start living your dream for the time that you have left. So with that said, I state all these things with the utmost sincerity. I don't want you to get stuck and sucked around in a circle all the time, believing that a particular business opportunity or the traffic generation or spending money on all sorts of courses or thinking that attending an event is going to change your life. You know, it's all hyped up stuff. In reality, success really starts inside of you. It starts from you understanding simple concepts. And it's so simple that we push it off. We brush it off. We kind of hear these things for years and years and years and we put it off. Just like I've heard about building a list for years and I never did it for 3 years and put it aside, and Albie has done that for like 9 years, right? And so many other marketers that are ultimately successful in the end have got a similar thing, that they've heard about building a list and they don't do it. So that's just one thing. So now I'm mentioning things such as it starts inside of you. It starts with your mindset. It starts with you immediately start making decisions in the way that a leader would. It's about you providing value. But in order for you to provide value, you need to figure out this bullseye why in the middle of these 3 circles that you should have drawn, right? Because like I said, in the outside, companies and people know what they are selling. They build a skill on knowing how to sell it, but they never go into the why. And therefore, success is limited, and results is limited, and freedom is limited, and personal growth is limited, right? I hear and see so many people, even here, even on the plane, on the airport. I've seen this now. Those are like 3 particular times that I've seen and heard things since I'm here for the first 24 hours in Vegas, where I'm seeing other marketers that are working full-time and they're preaching the dream, but not living the dream, right? It's all about being stuck in front of a laptop. Guys, that's not the way to go, right? Scary thing is that very, very, very few people who are making a full-time income online is making more than 30 grand US. Now you might think, well, Al, if I can just make 30 grand, let me tell you, you can make way more than that, right? If you just start focusing on this target picture that I've just given you to draw out, right? And you start focusing on the why, getting past those superficial, surface level type whys and thinking deeper about who you are, what you're standing for, and let those things drive you, right? Those things will get you to a point. It'll affect your what you are selling. How are you going to go about your product, what you are selling? It's going to affect how you go about how you are selling those things, meaning it's going to get you to either focus on just one traffic generation strategy and becoming the best at it. It'll drive those things, just like it has done for me. I've once again, just with traffic as a scenario, realized now, just by listening to some people, everybody is stuck in this merry-go-round, going round and round, trying to learn all the traffic stuff that's hitting the internet all the time. I've been preaching about this stuff for years, right? And hearing people making a full-time online income and then stating stuff such as, it makes you think when people say, you know, I'm making a full-time income, and then saying, oh, just after that, in the same discussion, I'd love to get to 20 grand a month, right? So I'm just telling you, you can make way much more with much less effort in an easy way if you just get focused, you pay attention to this video, you take note of these phases of progression, these things that you will go through, identify where you are at currently, in which one of these things you are currently stuck in, because you are stuck somewhere, whether you want to know that or not, right? And then start focusing on this bullseye part of the target, thinking about this why and getting past the surface level stuff. Really start focusing on providing value and doing this for other people and not for yourself. If you start building your business with the focus on helping others more than you're trying to help your own bank account, things will change. Your timetable will change. Freedom will change. Your ultimate overall attitude towards things will change. All right? So with that said, it's my pleasure to kind of share this with you here from Vegas. And like I said, those of you who are in our team, go watch that hangout. If you're on our team, get into our team, get set up in our P, or get access to our PTG system, all right, which is our training, our sales funnel, everything that we have available as far as resources and tools for you to create success. Get into that, and the first thing you go and do is go and watch the hangout that we have a recording of, which is the 26th of June's hangout, and go and listen to that first 2 hours of the 2.5 hour hangout, and listen to that 3 times, all right, so that it can really sink in. Anyways, from myself, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for listening. I hope that you've gained some value from it, and I look forward to sharing with you again. So from myself and from Vegas, cheers.